Hello, everybody. It's Brett Provenzano here. You are superintendent of schools. You're a proud superintendent of schools. We're grateful for all of you to spend the last day here with us to this very unusual year. I'm also here with our board president.
Morning, Peter Forsgren. On behalf of the entire board, we're grateful to be here with you this morning. And as Brett mentioned, you know, a unique way of ending our unique year, but we're grateful that we were able to take the time and celebrate together.
So when we were looking at today's agenda, it was very interesting. You know, yesterday morning, this all came together, you know, in a moment's flash with me. I was taking my morning walk and, you know, I texted my good friend, one of my partners, one of my doctors of soul, Bill Tiberio. And, you know, I asked him, hey, we're meeting tomorrow. What do you have for me? Right. And within a moment's notice, this is early morning, right? Nobody's up early morning, but Bill Tiberio was up and at him, and he shared this very, very poignant, very important message that he would like to share with our community. And it's joy. I mean, who could think of anything better than to, you know, celebrate our year, celebrate what we do here with so much joy. And then we started, you know, interacting about, hey, let's get a hold of Rich Green. You know, this is his last, you know, set of days here. We love Rich Green. He's one of my other doctors of soul, right? And I reached out to Rich, and within a moment's notice, he shared love, right? And wow, all right, this is really coming together, really powerful. So we opened with joy. We opened the year with joy. We moved through the year with joy, and we surrounded it, and we're closing it with lots of love. And in between here, we have some closing remarks, and we'll be honoring our retirement class of 2020. So thank you all for coming out here with us today. And it's different. It feels different. And we're learning to navigate our way around this. So looking forward to spending these moments with you. Mr. Forsgren.
Indeed, we are, and looking and feeling different. If we want to always be positive as the joy and the love represent, that's not a bad thing, right? That our ability to learn, to adapt has been great in some ways for the education of the youth. It's been great for us at education as a district. How do we learn? How do we grow out of this? So again, a wonderful thing to celebrate that we've been able to look at our situation, take it for what it is, adapt accordingly, and now let's celebrate about it and prepare for the next year.
So as we just went through an exercise in perseverance, persistence, and grit, right? I think back to one of America's great heroes and philosophical leaders and thought leaders of our time. I think of Rocky Balboa, right? And I think of, you know, the multiple different life lessons that are taught in this the series. And if you want to talk about what the greatest Rocky videos were, or the greatest Rocky movies were, I'd go with Rocky 2, Rocky 1, Rocky 4, 3, 6, and 5, right? And but that's for a whole other day. But there's this very important video that I want to share with you that speaks to this concept of resilience and persistence. And I kept going back to it throughout our entire closure as we were getting our real life experience.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
As we learned, you know, the world is not all sunshine and roses. As you know, you will get hit in life. And I think about COVID and what it did. It was a perfect storm of events. There was COVID, the health crisis, right? Some of you were impacted from a health lens with COVID. Some of you knew people that were impacted by COVID. Remember those first few days? It was really eerie. It was really almost surreal. Walking outside, taking a walk in the neighborhood, hearing about all the numbers that were impacting and being shared with us. You know, there was an economic component to COVID, one that we're still reeling from and grappling with. We had to create a whole new budget. Some people were impacted economically in ways that we couldn't have predicted, nor would we have wanted. Some people continued to press on. Most all of us pressed on, showed up, meeting with kids. I think of our tech team. Over 1,000 computers were distributed. Food service and transportation, over 55,000 meals. To this day, they are continuing to service our families in need. I think about our secretaries and our paras who came in to help support the organization, the distribution of materials, taking kids in online settings. I think of our teachers who, again, at moment's notice, pivoted to an online environment where our numbers from the first week of COVID to the last week of COVID were exponential. I think of our administrators on that very first day, March 14th, all coming together at moment's notice to develop plans. I think of our curriculum and instruction team with our lead teachers and our instructional coaches, weekly, showing up, picking themselves up, pressing on in the midst of such unknowns, trying to provide guidance and structure. We leaned on each other. I think of buildings and grounds, using this as an opportunity to support as needed, whether it's help to organize traffic flow or to continue with cleaning and sanitizing. I think of our nurses who had to respond differently, who showed up to make sure that medications were distributed or given back to families, or who would come in periodically to make sure that we were organized in supporting our children. I think of our mental health staff, COVID, the mental health crisis. At moment's notice, right? We're putting forth mindfulness videos. We're reaching out to students and families virtually in a way that we did not even know how to do as we started 2020. But we found a way to do it. We kept pressing on. Life hit us hard. Right? We kept moving forward. We didn't have a map. There wasn't an answer key, and there still is not an answer key. And then we talk about social emotional impacts of COVID. Our students, our staff, living life without any rhythm, without any consistency. Seasons were taken away. Rite of passages were taken away. At moment's notice, we had people rally around our students. Whether you were a coach and you kept touching base, whether you were an educator or a teacher, a paraprofessional, an administrator, making sure that we're getting to those kids who were not attending. We kept pressing on. We were hit hard, and we continue to take our shots as we move along. We just started this, and we thought we had this all taken care of, right? We kept pressing on because we had people in the background. Thank you to our instructional support team. And then you want to wrap up the health, economic, and social emotional impacts. Right? There was a social justice crisis in America. Oh, and by the way, it's not a brand new crisis. It's not a brand new imperative. But it hit us hard, and it still hits us hard. We have students who are impacted, We have families who are impacted from a social justice, social equity that we are called to serve in the middle of a pandemic. You know how reassuring it is to call on our friends, to call on our Fairport family. We have groups, we have family outreach. We were poised to meet with them. Yeah, we had to scramble because we got hit pretty hard by it too. But we came together and we continued to meet and we continued to reach out to families. And there's a story about resilience, persistence, and grit that is naturally woven into these circumstances. Our seniors have lost the right to graduate and celebrate together. Thank you to the FHS team for bringing an experience, bringing families together, reaching out to families, bringing students together to come up with a plan to make it a memorable and meaningful experience. It's been on Twitter. It's continuing. We continue to try to make it a real life experience Hopefully we can come together in the middle of June. Stay tuned with that. But again, we lost the ability to celebrate the way that we always celebrate. And we had, whether it's yearbook distribution, whether it was closing the school year out, throughout the whole district, everybody played their part and did some things differently. I've been involved in multiple different parades and retirement parties. We're still moving the ball down the field. We got hit hard, and it just wasn't a COVID health crisis. It was an economic crisis. It still is an economic crisis. Social emotional crisis. It's a social justice, social equity crisis, all within a time period, and we're built for this, and we're built to continue to lean and learn from each other.
It's incredible. I appreciate your passion around it and sharing that. I think it's fantastic. But what do we say? Keep moving forward.
And I'm grateful for all of you. Use the summer to sort of recharge, and that's what summers are for. You know, we're going to continue to persist. We're going to continue to try to find answers to questions that we don't know about, but we are committed to putting it in a way that engages, that uses best practices, that seeks feedback, and we communicate it with clarity and purpose. I want you to understand that we will continue to reach out to you. Even though the school year is closed, we're still interested in getting your feedback. And that was something that all staff wanted to continue to be a part of. And it's happening already. We continue to meet in grade level teams, and we continue to meet with health and safety teams and union leaders. Use those structures as we move through this process. I only show you this because I want you to know that these 5 fundamentals that I've been speaking to through since early May through June and into today, these will be a part of our process. There will be opportunities to make sure that we're looking at multiple different scenarios, the social emotional needs of our students, the academic needs, the curriculum management, educational programming needs, the operations and logistical components needs to be organized in a way that is clearly communicated with clarity and purpose and consistency, right? We will not lose that piece of consistency. But as usual, we always have to monitor and adjust. And again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but you know, these are the mantras. It's interesting how it came in 5, right? The guidance is saying masking, temperature taking, distancing, sanitizing, hand washing. I am optimistic. I am hopeful. I'm reading tea leaves and making my best guess that we will be in school in one way, shape, or form. It will look differently. It may look like what I just shared with masking, temperature taking, distancing, sanitizing, and hand washing. We will be relying on you to share your feedback. There will be a parent forum Wednesday at 7 o'clock on Facebook Live with a panel of experts. Please tune into that. I will be communicating throughout the summer. Please stay close to those communication links as we talk about an eventual transition back to school. But that's not why we're here, Mr. Forsgren. It's very important that we celebrate the 36 members of our Fairport family who will be part of the graduating class of 2020 who will be retiring.
And love celebrations. When social scientists want to study a population, they take a sample size, right? And if we do our job appropriately and take a sample size, what we learn about that sample size, we think we can extrapolate to the entire population. To our retirees, you are our sample size. You being awesome and us being able to celebrate you and the great accomplishments that you have done in the course of your career is what we can extrapolate to the rest of our staff here in the district. And so we thank you for that because you truly do represent the greatness that is in this district. So thank you. But thank you for what? Thank you for your daily efforts. Everything that Brett said, day in, day out, getting up, moving forward. Thank you for your daily efforts. Thank you for mentoring. There are those who are going to have to fill the vacuum that you leave, and they're ready for that because of your willingness to have reached out in whatever position it is to help bring others along. Thank you for your willingness and ability to adapt and change. And I'm not talking just about this year. You are retiring. I have no doubts that you've adapted and changed multiple times over the course of your career, especially this very last year. And knowing that it was your last year to still be able to do that and to do it well. Thank you for seeking and enhancing your skills because over the course of a career, things have changed, and the ability to stay on top of your game has been important. But above all, as we continually see, in my experience as a parent, but as a board member, thank you for your heart, for bringing that each day, caring about those whom you've served, whether it's when they step onto that bus or into a one-on-one situation for paraprofessional assistance, whether in the classroom, whatever it is. Thank you so much for all that you've done. When we meet as a board to accept resignations, and I kind of put that in air quotes, accept, we tend to add some humor. And maybe it gets old because it's the same every year of us not wanting to accept those resignations of those on the list or retirements. But we don't really have a choice about it. And we do not want to deny you either that which you have wholeheartedly earned with all the efforts that have been made. So we congratulate you as a Board of Education. Thank you. Enjoy your retirement. It has been well earned and well deserved, and we are happy to be celebrating you at this time.
You know, part of the retirement class, as each year goes along, and I say this every year, you know these people, and you know their stories are part of your stories, and saying goodbye is really challenging because of the impact that they've had, not only with me personally, but they are forever etched into our tapestry. They are the reasons now we continue to move forward and we continue to embrace this Fairport mindset of spirit of loving and caring for each other. So without further ado, we're going to scroll through the class of 2020. First up, congratulations to paraprofessional Joanne Antilla. Congratulations to Paul Belanca, Buildings and Grounds. Everybody knows Doug Kane, head bus driver. Congratulations. And one of my very first hires, as I was principal of Joanna Parent, was Ellen Candela. 15 years later, she's retiring. Congratulations, Ellen. And finally, our good friend, Director of Facilities, Ross Chula, who recently retired in March. Thank you, Ross, for all your years of service.
To Sharon Darniter, library clerk, congratulations and thank you. Clark Dauberton, school bus driver and transportation, congratulations.
Always servicing our children with a smile.
Incredible. Ruth DuPont, special education teacher at Fairport High School. Beth Finnerty McCourt, special education teacher also at the high school. Congratulations. And Ann Forbes, enrichment specialist, Dudley Northside. Thank you.
Special education teacher, Jill Garner Elsop. Alan George, Transportation Center. Paula Gilton, social studies teacher. Kelly Goodman, family and consumer science. And Rich Green, principal at Jefferson Ave.
Philip Guadagnino, English teacher, Minerva DeLand.
And you know, it's everybody's up here. It's worth mentioning everyone up here. It really is. But when you're here for 50 years, right? You know, our hearts go out to you, Phil. And I know that this is killing him. He does not want me to even do this, but we're grateful for your service. 50 years, right? Think about that. Think about the stories. Think about the love and passion.
Yeah. Couldn't go 2 more years for my youngest son.
Thank you, Phil. Sorry.
Sandy Hessler, school bus driver. Thank you. And for the smiles, as you mentioned, that our Children's Day starts off getting onto a bus.
Absolutely. Every single day, they can tell the weather just by seeing how a student comes on the bus, how the weather of the day is going to be.
Yep. Kate Carr, English teacher, Fairport High School. Congratulations and thank you. Doug Kakainen, mathematics teacher at the high school, Fairport High School. Thank you. Congratulations. And Josephine Keller, math specialist at Brooks Hill.
Colleen Cole, nurse, our school nurse and our nurse facilitator. Again, working diligently, and we're going to hold on to her as long as we can as we move along here. Thank you, Colleen, for your years of service and always being ready to support as needed. Lydia Legg, paraprofessional at Brooks Hill. Susan Precioso, secretary for Director of Health, PE, and Athletics. Thank you, Susan. Lois Merrill, attendance clerk at Johanna Parent. Thank you, Lois. And James Moriarty, Transportation Center. Rich Onobeni, science teacher at Fairport High School. And when you think about Rich and you think about Brotherhood Sisterhood Week and you think about the legacy that he's had in this district and the ideals that he's advocated for that go beyond science, again, when we talk about the legendary and rich core that we have and embrace and that we all work for and strive for, thank you, Rich.
John O'Gorman, sixth grade teacher, John Appearing. Thank you, John. Congratulations.
And I almost feel bad. Every single one of these wonderful graduates deserves a story. But if you look around our district and you see all these nationally board certified teachers popping up, that is a commitment to the art and craft of teaching at such a level. And Mr. O'Gorman is behind that. Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll continue to carry that forward, that commitment to high quality teaching and learning, of course.
Jeff Parker, head custodian facilities, always know how much work they put in to keep our facilities going and clean, and especially the increased importance it has moving forward. Thank you, Jeff.
Always a smiling face and a heartfelt greet for Mr. Parker. We'll be missing you at Brooks Hill.
And Polma, school social worker, Dudley. What an incredible, important role played there for our students.
Anne is a warrior. She has raised the bar only for us to try to reach. Her heart and her passion is what we all strive for when it comes to social workers. And you know what I'm speaking about. We will try to emulate and serve what she established. Thank you, Anne.
Alice Rao, English teacher, Fairport High School. Thank you, Alice, for all that you've done.
Diane Scheibel, third grade teacher at Northside School. Thank you, Diane. We wish you the best moving forward. Patty Sheldon, reading teacher at Martha Brown. Susan Walls, Director of Special Areas and Elementary Education. Before that, she was a long-time assistant principal at Northside. Thank you, Susan. Ann Wolanski, paraprofessional at Dudley. Thank you, Ann. And last, but definitely not least, special education teacher, Christine Woods. We wish all of our retirees and graduates of the class of 2020 the very best. You deserve the best. We hope that you continue your dedication and commitment to serving others and making the world a better place. It's naturally who you are. It's what you have done here in Fairport, and we are all honored to be a part of it. Like I was saying, we started out with joy and we're ending with love. And with the school year coming to a close, get re-energized, stay close to your emails and Twitter feeds. We'll be communicating with you, reaching out to you. But most importantly, know that you are loved and love is at the core of everything that we do. I would like to share this song by Jefferson Avenue Principal, Mr. Richard Green. It's called I Like Love. Thanks, Rich.
Hi, I'm Mr. Green, and this is I Like Love. This world can be so confusing. Sometimes it's hard to know just what to do today. There's one word that I am using to help me see clear and choose a way. I like love. I like love. Yes, it's so. This I know. I like love. I like love. Yes, it's true. What I want to do. I like love. I like love. I see the light of humanity shining in your eyes, a light that won't fade away. Hope is here in this time of insanity. And if you ask me, these are the words I'll say. I like love. I like love. Yes, it's so. This I know. I like love.
And I would like to thank my incredible JP family. And definitely, we all love and know Mr. Steve Rivers. Definitely was an error on our end over here. But Steve Rivers was a math teacher throughout the district. He ended up at Johanna Perrin. But thank you, Steve. And again, I wrap that one up in love because we love Steve Rivers. We're grateful for his years of service. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your patience and the latitude you've given us here as we, try to do our online live streaming event. We're going to finish the song, but thank you all and wish you all many blessings. I'm proud to serve with all of you.
Have a great rejuvenating summer.
Love. Yes, it's true. What I want to do. 'Cause I like love. I like love.
Thank you again to Bill Tiberio for sharing Joy, which again was a tribute to his beautiful mother, who many Fairport family members know. Thank you, Bill, for sharing that piece and sharing that with our community. And thank you for Rich Green, again, for spreading love and sharing love for us all. Have a wonderful summer. Thank you.